Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Real Love Social.
Hi, everyone.
Coming back to you kind of quick today after just doing a podcast.
Yeah, well, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, like someone tried to smoke the president again.
Yeah, so we thought we would give you some of the footage that we've seen and
talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. So how we came about it was I was at work last evening and somebody came up and said something's going on in the White House. Something's going on in the White House, and it wasn't the White House, obviously. So I hurried up and called him because I can't be on my phone at work and had you search it out. And lo and behold, another attempted assassination on President Trump's life.
Yeah, I wouldn't even have known for hours because I was sitting there on the computer editing videos and not listening to the real world. And I'm not sure he was trying to go after Trump because he said, and when they laid him down or arrested him, tackled him, whatever, he said he was after someone or after the administration, which obviously means Trump, I think, but he might have been targeting Trump. One of the people that pissed him off. Who knows?
We know who he was after. And a lot of people are disappointed out there that he didn't succeed. And I don't care who you follow or what you are, that's just not okay. So I wouldn't have wanted that for the right or the left president at any given time. Would I ever wanted either one of them to be assassinated? I'm going to say that, and I stand on it, and that's it.
Yeah, and if it's, no matter what side you're on, that room was full of people from both sides. If he would have made it into that room blasting, who knows who would have gotten.
Who knows who would have gotten killed. So.
Yeah. People from the media, the haters, the lovers, all the different people were all up in there.
But anyway, so we're going to share the footage with you from the beginning of it to right where the guy took off running through the place they were at.
So this is before it happened, when they were all just mingling, eating, drinking wine, getting ready for the show.
And didn't you say this was when he was supposed to get up and do like some stand-up or something, you said?
Well, yeah, they always
because I wasn't sure what this was all about anyway, so I don't follow all of it.
The president always gets up and says some jokes and pokes fun at people in the audience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they've all done it.
Take some shots.
Yeah.
At people.
Exactly.
That's viral now. So yeah, there's a clip going around with Caroline Levitt speaking on the upcoming features of the evening.
They were interviewing her out front about the show tonight, or the thing tonight.
Yeah, okay. And she was doing a little bit of a introduction on bits and pieces of what the evening was going to be about. And what was it that she said?
Well, you're going to have laughs and there will be shots fired.
This speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room.
Wrong choice of words for that night. Not knowing what was about to happen a few minutes later, like literally a few minutes later.
Yeah.
So here's right before it went down.
Looking straight on, she's to the left. See this right? Yes. I know you would. That's crazy. Oh, yeah, right you. Where was he aiming?
He didn't shot one of the guys.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, see, I didn't get to catch up on any of this.
So everyone trying to say it's staged, so they shot somebody in the chest.
I have to put my lips on.
Put them on. And you don't need lipstick.
No, you don't, because it gives you nice color, and it's nice.
All right, so this was right before everything went down. There's a different angle. Watch the moment Trump gets rushed off stage at the White House Correspondents Dinner.
Who does? Yeah, she's down before anybody. She saw it. I seen her go.
Start seeing chaos. That's enough for her.
Yeah. She knows where she's at. What happened? What she said. What happened? Girl. Yeah.
I wish this is.
And now we can confirm the identity of the suspect. I want to bring in our Chief Justice Correspondent, Pierre Thomas, for a little bit more about what we're learning. Pierre?
We're learning that the suspect is from Torrance, California, according to our sources. The sources, and I'm going to try to be very specific here, is identified as Cole Allen, again, from Torrance, California. As we have been told by various sources and by the Attorney General of the United States, search warrants are being executed at residents associated with this man. They're also at his hotel room, obviously, checking and going through any items they can find there. Again, he's been charged with multiple counts, including assaulting a federal officer and using a weapon in the commission of a crime. Law enforcement officials are expected to do a deep dive. Right now, the D.C. police are saying he acted alone, but again, this is early in the investigation. They are going to look at every bit of social media activity. If he had any mobile phones, computers that he has, this investigation is now full tilt, the highest priority in the federal government in terms of law enforcement right at this moment.
Yeah, a lot to comb through, including the hotel room where he was staying. Pierre, thank you. He's expected to be arraigned on Monday. And the president, however, today is just thanking the Secret Service, thanking law enforcement in general for how quickly they acted. He said he's very grateful for how he and the First Lady, his cabinet, and everyone else involved was treated. Of course, we know that Secret Service officer who was shot was saved by his bulletproof vest. He's in the hospital now, but the president says he's doing okay, and the suspect is in the hospital being evaluated. They haven't said exactly why he's in the hospital, Brad. They say he wasn't shot in this incident. They didn't elaborate on any injuries, but they just said he's in the hospital being evaluated. But now you have this investigation on multiple fronts, right? One at the hotel, obviously, another at his apartment in California.
Okay, this, I believe they're going to talk about how the investigation's going so far. I think this is next morning, obviously, because it's daytime, so this must be earlier today.
Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche is leading the DOJ team investigating the suspect and his path leading up to the shooting last night. He joins us now. Good to have you with us this morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Let me ask you where we are in this investigation. Reports that there was a search at a home last night believed to be where the suspect lives. Do we know anything more about ideology, motive, if he was working alone?
Yes, law enforcement, you're right, executed multiple search warrants last night, not only in Los Angeles, but also in Washington, D.C., in the hotel room where the suspect was staying. And they executed search warrants on devices, and they're going through that information right now. What we have learned, and what they've learned just overnight, is that it appears he traveled from Los Angeles through Chicago to Washington, D.C., and it appears he traveled by train during both legs of that.
Los Angeles through Chicago. Chicago's a fucking million miles. There must be a Chicago, California.
No, nothing. I don't. I'm gonna have to chat that. I don't think.
Why would he go from California to Chicago to Washington when Washington? Oh, wait. No, that's right. He's going to Washington, D.C., not Washington State.
You weirdo.
I'm acting like a blonde.
Oh my lord.
Okay, that's right. He took a train to.
What the hell? You're acting like you're blonde.
I was thinking.
Fuck you trying to say? How about you're acting like your absent-minded self?
Forgot there's two.
You deserved
Washingtons.
that for saying that about a blonde. How dare you?
I'm acting like a bougie. That's why I'm going to zoom in on your look at me.
Trip. The investigation is rapidly developing, and I expect by the time...
You were just about to Google if there's a Chicago, California.
No, I wasn't. I was about to Google why somebody would do that. Maybe he went to go pick up his gun.
Formal charges are filed, which will likely be tomorrow morning. We will have a...
That's what someone else asked. Did he get it there? Did he bring it with him? Did he already have it there?
Did he get it Yeah.
Good question. I'm sure they'll figure it all out.
Even a blonde blueshie can ask a good question. Jeez.
If it was a greyhound, I could say you could throw it under the bus, but a train, I don't know. I've never been on a train. Have you?
No. I
I
wanted
don't know
to
if
be
they
on one
search
before.
your bags or not.
Have we? I've never been
An
on a
Amtrak?
train. It's so weird.
Ever been on an Amtrak before?
No,
I know
just a
my-
bus.
I know my brother has. He rode all the way back with my grandma before from Cali to Michigan, I think, or somebody did.
I want to go on a mystery train ride. Enough about that. Let's continue.
Better sense of what happened. As far as motivation, we are still looking into that. It appears he was targeting members of the administration, but I say that generally because that's all we know right now. We don't have any specifics beyond that.
There are reports that he, quote, told law enforcement following his arrest that he did want to shoot Trump administration officials. Can you speak to that specifically?
Yeah, look, not more specifically than what you just said. I mean, look, this is just starting. There's multiple, there's emails, there's things that we're looking through right now to help us understand what his motivation was, to the extent that it's written down somewhere. We're talking to witnesses who knew him, and we'll be doing that. Law enforcement work through the night, and they'll work through the day and continue to work to figure out what happened.
Well, you mentioned him traveling by train, which not a lot of Americans do cross country these days. Does that raise questions about whether he was trying to avoid being tracked, say, by flight logs and those kinds of things that, you know, when you go through security, obviously there is a tracking through TSA and that whole process. Does the train spark any red flags for you?
Yes, I mean, look, you can travel by plane, car, or train, and it appears he traveled by train. Why he did that, we don't know at this point, but it could be the reasons you just described. It could be other reasons. We don't know whether he had the firearms with him. It does appear that he purchased those firearms within the past couple of years, but that could be another reason why he traveled by train, because he had the firearms with him. But I'm speculating there, and so are you, obviously. But we'll see.
This is after everything went down.
It's his response.
Yeah, him addressing the nation after it happened.
Exactly, yeah. And I haven't seen this yet.
Well, thank you very much. And that was very unexpected, but incredibly acted upon by Secret Service and law enforcement. And this was an event dedicated to freedom of speech that was supposed to bring together members of both parties with members of the press. And in a certain way it did, because the fact that they just unified, I saw a room that was just totally unified. It was in one way very beautiful, a very beautiful thing to see. A man charged a security checkpoint armed with multiple weapons, and he was taken down by some very brave members of Secret Service, and they acted very quickly and have just released, for purposes of transparency, clarity, I've ordered it to be put out. You probably have it by now. Put out on Truth and put out on many of the platforms.
He's talking about the video of him running through the lobby.
Okay.
A tape showing the violence of this thug that attacked our Constitution, and also showing how quickly Secret Service and law enforcement acted on our country's behalf. Really did a great job.
Here's what a whole home water filtration system costs, including installation. Tap below to check pricing. Affordable.
One officer was shot, but saved by the fact that he was wearing obviously a very good bulletproof vest. He was shot from very close distance with a very powerful gun, and the vest did the job. I just spoke to the officer, and he's doing great. He's in great shape. He has very high spirits, and we told him we love him and respect him, and he's a very proud guy. He's very proud of what he does, Secret Service agent. And we looked at all of the conditions that took place tonight, and I will say, you know, it's not a particularly secure building, and I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone-proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it.
Drone-proof, bulletproof.
And of course, you're hearing everybody say, "Oh, he staged this because he needs a ballroom." Any president going forward, if there's any hate involved, like
They would be using it too.
absolutely.
But
So
I had a stage shoot a guy in the chest in the hospital to get
but
it.
they don't believe it. Nobody believes it. Everyone believes this is staged and
You'd be one hell of a mastermind to pull that off. So is he the dumbest motherfucker in the world, or is he that much of a mastermind? I'm confused.
yeah, me too. I mean, why can't he have the ballroom? What's the big deal?
I don't know.
All right, anyway, I'm sure we'll get bashed for this, but we are human and we're allowed to have our rights too, so.
We're allowed to have an opinion, and now we have a platform, so.
Don't
just
come
don't
for
wanna
us,
know.
please.
We
We're
just-
just being human.
Or do, whatever.
We'll be called not human. Sure.
They've wanted the ballroom for 150 years for lots of different reasons, but today's a little bit different because today we need levels of security that probably nobody's ever seen before. But everyone owes a tremendous debt of gratitude to the courage of law enforcement, the law enforcement, and working with the D.C. police. And we just spoke with the mayor. And when we're finished, the police chief is going to take over and discuss it also from their viewpoint. But they also performed exactly as they were supposed to. And you see the attacker in different positions, but you also see the attacker totally subdued and under control. So as you know, this is not the first time in the past couple of years that our republic has been attacked by a would-be assassin who sought to kill. In Butler, Pennsylvania, less than 2 years ago, you all know that story. And in Palm Beach, Florida, a few months after that, we came close. We really had, again, we had some great work done by law enforcement. But in light of this evening's events, I ask that all Americans recommit with their hearts in resolving our difference peacefully. We have to resolve our differences. I will say, you had Republicans, Democrats, independents, conservatives, liberals, and progressives. Those words are interchangeable, perhaps, but maybe they're not. But yet everybody in that room, big crowd, record-setting crowd. There was a record-setting group of people. And there was a tremendous amount of love and coming together. I watched, and I was very, very impressed by
I
that.
think he's saying when shots start firing, you forget about who's red, blue, whatever.
Yeah.
They were all helping
He
each
was
other.
speaking after the fact or
Yeah.
before?
After.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, that they have this every year.
No, I know. I just wanted to know if they were enjoying themselves before or they just came together after. I wasn't sure what he
Oh,
meant.
well, I guess it could have meant both, but I think he's
I
talking
think
about
he
in a
meant
time
both.
of crisis. It was
Yeah.
they came together.
Yeah, that makes sense. As it should be.
But we were, First Lady and I were taken very well care of very quickly rushed off the stage. Vice President J.D. Vance, who's here, was likewise beautifully done. He was just saying how quickly everybody acted, law enforcement, Secret Service in particular in this case, but law enforcement. Marco had the same thing. Pete was there. Pete didn't want any help. He didn't want anybody to help him. He doesn't want anybody to help him, but he did get some, didn't you? And I think you also said that it was very impressive. So with that, I'd like to ask Todd Blanche to come up, say a few words, and tell you it's already underway. The man has been captured. They're going to his apartment. I guess he lives in California, and he's a sick person, a very sick person, and we don't want things like this to happen. I think it's very important that I say, though, and I told the representatives of the evening, they did such a beautiful job. It was such a beautiful evening. And again, they're talking about free speech in our Constitution. That's what it's all about, not just White House Correspondents. It was really based on free speech in our Constitution. But I said very importantly that we'll do it again within the next 30 days, and we'll make it bigger and better and even nicer. So I just want to thank everybody that was involved. I also want to thank the press, the media. You've been very responsible in your coverage. I will say I've been seeing what's been out, and you've been very responsible. So Todd Blanche, I'd like to say a few words. I know we're going to have cash, and then you're going to go on. We can ask, I guess we can take a couple of questions. I want to thank the First Lady for...
See, the difference is he's saying you've been real with your reporting because they were there when it happened. They can't come up and say it was bullshit or what they normally would do.
They
heard the shots fired. They were there.
What happened? Yes.
Even
I wanted
people
to
that
see
are
what
not.
he was going to say to Melania. Thanking the First Lady.
It was a rather traumatic experience for her. There was a lot of action taking place up there very quickly. But again, the response time was really incredible. And we're going to reschedule. We're going to do it again. We're not going to let anybody take over our society. We're not going to cancel things out because we can't do that. We wanted to stay tonight. I will tell you, I fought like hell to stay. But it was protocol. They said, please, sir, because they didn't know there was a lot of action going on, and they didn't know could there be probably a lone shooter, but we'll find out. We'll find out very quickly. They have it very well under control. So I want to thank everybody very much. Madam Chairman, I just want to say you did a fantastic job. What a beautiful evening, and we're going to reschedule. Okay. And after that, it's very tough for her to ask a killer question, right? But you have done a fantastic job. Please.
Mr. President, I appreciate it. As you mentioned, it all happened so quickly. And I wonder, especially because unfortunately you have experience with these sorts of threats, in that moment when you realized there was a threat and service agents were telling us to get down, can you describe what was going through your mind, how you were feeling in that moment?
That's a very good question, actually. It's always shocking when something like this happens. Happened to me a little bit, and that never changes. The fact, we were sitting right next to each other, the First Lady on my right, and I heard a noise and sort of thought it was a tray. I thought it was a tray going down. I've heard that many times, and it was a pretty loud noise. And it was from quite far away. He hadn't reached the area at all. They really got him. But, so it was quite far away, but it was a gun. And some people really understood that pretty quickly. Other people didn't. I was watching to see what was happening. Probably should have gone down even faster. Melania was very cognizant, I think, of what happened. I think she knew immediately what happened. She was saying, that's a bad noise. And we were whisked away along with other people, but we were really whisked away. And again, the performance of the Secret Service and the police, all of the law enforcement, I thought was really good. So it was very quick. There wasn't a lot of time to be thinking because it was a matter of seconds before we were out the door and gone into an area. We very much, and you wanted to too, we very much wanted to continue it because I don't like to let these sick people, these thugs, these horrible, horrible people change the fabric of our life, change the course of what we do. So we held out. You were there. We held out right till the end, but they didn't want to take a chance, and I understand there was protocol.
All right.
Well, I mean, it'll be a big question of loyalty. Like, we know who's loyal, and this is our country and what we do to protect everyone in our country. It's basically the baseline of everything.
Well, if it was up to him, he would have finished the night off, just threw the dude in jail and went on about the night. And
it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
so
it's the first I've seen of this, and I didn't get to see about any of it. That's why I called you and asked you to check to see what was going on. Everybody at work thought it was
at the White House.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been at the ballroom had it been built, I guess.
I guess.
And they wouldn't have got nowhere near. where he
Anyway,
got. So,
ready to wrap up, or
yeah,
you got any
that's-
more
that's a wrap.
things to say? Yeah,
we'll
that's a wrap
call it,
for us.
and we'll follow this story as it comes available.
Yeah. Try not to go too hard on us, and try to be kind to everybody. Because Lord knows I see a lot of it that is not.
We didn't say nothing terrible, I don't think.
There's nothing to say. It is what it is.
No,
Someone
I
tried
said
to kill
read
the
it.
president or the administration, people in it, and that's a fact. Just always shoot the facts. No pun
No,
intended.
I said we didn't say anything.
I know that.
All right, y'all. Peace, love, planes, trains, automobiles.
You know. Peace and love, everybody. Stay kind to each other. Till next
It's your bedtime, Booge.
I know I'm tired. Get some rest, everyone. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed early tonight myself. Got one more week of 4 a.m. getting up, and then we're gone.
Heading to Gatlinburg and to the Smoky Mountains.
Yes. Peace.
Rocky Mountains.